film The Lone Ranger, directed by Gore Verbinski. It's Walt Disney's new big budgeted production on the American icon. It stars Johnny Depp, Armie Hammer, Tom Wilkinson, Barry Pepper, and Helena Bonham Carter. Now, to start off, I'm a huge fan of westerns, and with that said, that means I'm a huge fan of the Lone Ranger story. It's been an everlasting icon since the 30s, inspired radio shows, TV shows, few old school black and white films, comic books that I love. That's how I got introduced to it. I collect the comics. So to say the least, I was excited for this production. And the director is Gore Verbinski, who catapulted Johnny Depp to box office fame with the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. Now, I liked the first Pirates of the Caribbean, but I wasn't a fan of the rest of them, although I did like their visual sense. So I was hoping at the very least I would get an entertaining, non-stop action fest with this film, with a character that I respect a lot. The movie is somewhat of a failure, though. There are a few scenes that had me smiling like a geek, because like I said, I'm a huge Western fan, so his visual sense is really cool in it. I love how it's very gritty, grimy, almost like a steampunk type of visual sense he has. So the look of the film is really great. The problem is that they really need some better editors. There is a lot of fluff and exposition and scenes that are not needed. This movie runs almost 2.5 hours. It does not need to be 2.5 hours. They could have easily trimmed 40 minutes. I took my little cousin to see it, hoping that at the very least it'd be an entertaining ride for him, and he was almost falling asleep on it. There are two major action set pieces, one in the very beginning of the film and one in the ending. Both are exceptional. They are great. The ending action sequence with the William Tell overture is Buster Keaton lunacy. It's brilliant. But the whole midsection, which is almost an hour and a half, almost hour and 40 minutes, it's just a lot of it's not needed. It's two movies in one, but there's not enough to fit in everything. There's a lot of random scenes that don't really connect. It's just too much in this film going on, and it suffers for that. Tonto's character, Johnny Depp's shtick only lasts for so long, and one of the problems I have with Johnny Depp as an actor is that he keeps sticking with these roles that him playing an oddball character can only go so far for me now, and this is probably the nail in the coffin for me. Like, I want to see Johnny Depp take on the roles that don't require him to be an oddball, a weirdo. Armie Hammer is great as Lone Ranger, but as you all saw with the marketing ad campaign, for some reason the movie really focuses a lot on Tonto instead of the Lone Ranger, so I think the movie suffers for that as well. So all in all, as far as the summer blockbusters go, this is definitely not one of the stronger entries this summer. The strong points are a great visual-looking film. The special effects are top-notch, as you would expect the Jerry Bruckheimer production, but the movie's way too long. It's not even worth going to see two great action scenes, because in the beginning you get a great one, and then you have to sit through a long film where nothing really happens until the ending scene, which is great, but still, I don't think it's worth 2.5 hours of your life to go pay to see this movie. Definitely rental material if you want. So yeah, as far as AFourBrothersJoint is concerned, this is MB denied. I can't recommend it, even though there are scenes that had me grinning. There wasn't enough to make me say this is a classic of the summer, or following in the footsteps of what we've seen previously this summer. So MB denied. Sorry, I wasn't a huge fan of this film.